guys, John here, and today we're talking tool cabinets, or roll cabs, or tool chests, whatever you call these big old rolling toolboxes that are behind me, because we've been sent this one by JCB. This is a collaboration between Aston Martin F1 team and JCB. If you didn't know, JCB sponsor Aston Martin, and they've just released this little beauty. They've got 500 of these, it's limited edition, and we've got a pre-production model. This one is 0 out of 500. This is the one in all of the photographs, and as soon as I saw the pictures, I thought I really wouldn't mind one of those. These nice, bright, vivid colours. It just looks so cool, and it's a nice beastie roll cab as well. So we bit the hand off, we thought definitely we'll have that, and we thought we can't test it on its own, we've got to match it up. So here's my snap-on box. This is a 40-inch snap-on box. It's about 15, 20 years old, this thing, but snap-on boxes have lifetime warranties, and this little beauty here is, I thought, pretty similar to this in size. And we've got 5 categories that we're going to be comparing, starting with durability, moving on to price, the aesthetics, any special features they have, and finally it'll be the organisability, or shadow foam-ability as we like to call it. And for that, we're going to need tools. So we're also looking at JCB Tools and some pretty cool stuff coming up in this video. So let's get into it, starting with our first category, durability. So for durability, there's a pretty famous test for snap-on boxes, and that's standing in the drawers. And for that, I'm going to need my ladder. So first I'll be standing in the snap-on drawer and seeing if it can take my weight and if it doesn't tip over. Now I've seen that done before, so I'm pretty confident with the snap-on. And the real test will be, can I stand in the JCB toolbox drawer? But let's start with the snap-on. So this is a new one on me. Can't say I'm not nervous, but we'll give it a go. And I've got a little ladder here just to go nice and steady. And that is me stood in the drawer of a snap-on toolbox. I'll tell you what, I'm not jumping though, because I don't feel that confident. Right, so I'm pretty safe to say that holds my weight. Does the drawer still close though? Pass. Snap-on is durable, but Snap-on is famously durable. This is a USA-made toolbox, and it's built to last your lifetime, and they stand by that in all their marketing. I've never heard anyone say any different, to be fair. Right, so let's try the JCB, and just so you know, both of these are fully empty. There's no tools in either of them, so it's a pretty good test. I'm still going to go very, very steady, but I do have high hopes for this box. I feel confident about holding my weight, so I'm just going nice and steady. Whew! Right, so that's got my weight now, but I've not let go of the ladder. And there we go, I'm in the drawer. I'll move the ladder a little bit. Can't move it too far. There we go, I'm in the drawer. I think that's the drawer. That's what other durability test can I do, really? I'm 100 kilos and a bit of change, and I'm still in the drawer, feeling pretty solid. So there we go, that's the durability test. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's check the drawer still works. Yeah, so that is the standing in the drawer test completed, and neither of them tipped. They were both pretty solid. I think Snap-on just pips it though. I definitely felt more secure in that drawer, and there was no sway from the toolbox. And this drawer has only got the one drawer runner, and it still felt really solid. JCB, I felt like I was on the limit. Although this bottom drawer here has got 2 drawer runners, I stood in that drawer, I felt like the box was just on its tipping point, really. So I think basically the Snap-on is a heavier gauge steel. You can definitely see that the steel's a little bit thicker on the Snap-on, and it's a little bit deeper, so there's more weight in it. And obviously Snap-on, they're offering a lifetime warranty, so the whole box is basically built around durability and the idea of lasting your lifetime. Whereas the JCB, they've got a 10-year box warranty, 3 years on other parts. In terms of durability, another thing to note is the mechanisms on the drawers. Now this has got like your classic bar all the way across that you lift up, which I really like. That's my personal preferred drawer opening mechanism. And it's got metal latches left and right, which is really solid, and I think slightly better than the Snap-on. Now the Snap-on mechanism has been the same for a long time. You put your hand underneath and there's like a little slotted tray here you have to move to the left, and that's just like a plastic latch. So although they've been using this for a long time and they do offer a lifetime warranty, they must stand by it. I do think the metal catches do seem better. The JCB's also got this plastic black bash guard, which I didn't notice at first glance. I couldn't really tell it was there, but all the way down the left and right on the corners where you might just crash it into something, they've got this little bash guard, which I just thought is going to stop you chipping your paint. The handle's really stout and solid, so I think in durability terms, both really highly rated. I rate this one a lot with the really stout handle, the bash guards, the metal catches, but I think Snap-on is just a heavier gauge steel. It feels more solid, and obviously this is an older box and it's still in good condition, and it's got that lifetime warranty. So I think Snap-on's got to win it in terms of durability. I'm going to give that one 5 out of 5. This isn't far behind though. 4 out of 5 for the JCB, I reckon. On to the price. So price, I'm going to give you the numbers right off the bat, and that is £2,250 for this one, £6,642 for the similar version of this, which isn't the exact same. This is like a limited edition model. Snap-on do loads of collaborations, loads of limited edition graphics and stuff, so this one's obviously no longer for sale, but the 40-inch Heritage box in the same combination, we'll put a picture on the screen, comes in on the Snap-on website at £6,642. You can probably get a better deal from your local Snap-on person, and I bought this one for £1,050 off Facebook. So because Snap-on have been around for so long, there is quite an active second-hand market. You can pick these up for different prices and on eBay. So in terms of price, if you're comparing them brand new to brand new, JCB wins by a country mile in my opinion, £2,250 for what is a fantastic looking box for the exact same amount of drawers, plus a couple of extra features on this, and I do really love the limited edition design of this, the fact there's only 500. For me, JCB is the clear winner on price, but I can't slate Snap-on too heavily, purely because I got this one second hand, and there is a really strong second hand market. So scores on the doors for price, I've got to give it to JCB. But it's not a full 5 out of 5 because there's loads of other toolbox brands, loads of other roll cabs. I think this one you are paying a premium for that limited edition, the really cool aesthetic, and there are cheaper boxes available. But this is a really solid contender, and if you want something special that's going to last your lifetime, I think that is pretty good. So 4 out of 5 for the JCB. Snap-on, giving them points for the second-hand market, so I'm going to go 3 out of 5 for Snap-on. So that's price. Next up, aesthetics. So next category is aesthetics, and that is quite a subjective category, to be fair. If you're a massive Aston Martin fan, I'm pretty sure you'd be giving this an easy 5 out of 5, probably 10 out of 5, especially if you're an Alonso fan or maybe a Stroll fan. I think both those names can be quite divisive within the F1 fan base. That's not me though. I don't really know a great deal. I'm a football man myself, so I can't give it extra points for that, but it's a conversation. Let me know. Are you a big fan of Stroll or a big fan of Alonso or Aston Martin in general? But for me, it scores highly purely on this contrast. I really like the teal and this lime green. It just really hits. And attention to detail with the little GB flag, and I like it. I think it's a great looking toolbox, and even the handle and everything, it all matches. I like it. But then moving over to the Snap-on, I really like this one, and this has got the added prestige of Snap-on. You know, world famous. They've been around a very, very long time, and this wouldn't be my first choice in artwork, but like I said, I got this off Facebook. Quite funny to have this, what do they call this? The papyrus font. It looks like the Avatar logo, doesn't it? But in pure chrome. It's quite inoffensive. I just thought, you know, it's a spanner, I'm putting tools in it. It's not my first choice. So in terms of aesthetics, I think lots of points for the prestige of Snap-on. You can recognise a Snap-on a mile off. It's got the rounded corners. The design and style of these heritage boxes is quite iconic, quite recognisable. And the added benefit of a Snap-on box is you can extend it. Obviously, there's a full catalogue of different boxes, and you can get side hutches and different things. So you can really change this and adapt it. Whereas with the JCB box, it's a single stack. You can buy the roll cab on its own or the top box on its own, but there's no way you're extending this. You could probably buy a matching black gloss box, but it's not going to have the same aesthetic like you can do with the Snap-ons. So let me know which one of these would be the winner for you when it comes to aesthetics. Are you a big Aston Martin fan, or maybe it's just the prestige of Snap-on? Either way, even if you can't use a roll cab, because I'm quite conscious you might be watching this video and you don't work in a workshop, you're not workshop based, and you could never have one of these, you don't know where to put it. But if you are in a position to have a big roll cab like this, you might also benefit from this week's sponsor, which is Connect Team. Because if you didn't know already, I don't just make videos about toolboxes here on YouTube. I also run SHADOWFOAM, which is a company employing 15 people, and we've got to manage all the operations and all the staff that are busy making SHADOWFOAM run smoothly, making all the inserts and shipping them all out. And to manage the staff, we use a system called Connect Team. Let me tell you about it. So Connect Team is an employee management app, so the employee can have it on the mobile phone and they have access to everything they need from wherever they are. It's easy to set up and easy to use. I'm not particularly tech savvy, but I was able to download the app and get it set up in no time at all. Now we have a team of 15 currently across a few units, so this functions as our clocking in system for all of our staff here in production. It's really easy to clock in and out, and this also produces a handy set of timesheets for all of our payroll needs. Connect Team also produces schedules for all of my team, so I can see at a glance who's working what days, who's off, when the nearest holidays are coming up, etc. This information is completely flexible, visible to both me and the team, the managers, and it can easily be adjusted, just a simple drag and click. We can also easily create and distribute schedules, which saves me a lot of time. Connect Team is free for up to 10 users, but is suitable for businesses of all sizes. It's ideal for a team my size and allows me to manage and track my team's workflows by allowing me to create and assign tasks in the blink of an eye and get real-time execution updates, knowing stuff's done, which saves me the job of checking in with them, and it allows me to keep an eye on the business, making sure everything's going smoothly while I'm away making great content and getting some cool tools. If this sounds appealing to you, Connect Team offer a 14-day trial for small businesses with more than 10 employees. If you're looking to streamline your small business without breaking the bank, I would highly recommend clicking the link below in the description and checking out all the features to see what Connect Team can do for you. So that's Connect Teams. Now onto the scores. So when it comes to aesthetics, I think big points to Snap-on for the Prestige. You can recognize the box. This is their classic 40-inch box, so you can see it's Snap-on. And I quite like the design. Obviously, they've got loads of different choices, but I like this one. 4 out of 5 for me. This one, Aston Martin JCB, it's got a lot of prestige in that name. I think JCB are doing it right. I think it's a brand that you recognize and you connect it back to all the heavy equipment and the reliability of that. And there's a big element of prestige there. Combined with Aston Martin, I think they've been quite clever with that approach. There's two brands there that are very known and trusted, and just the look of it, I just think it's a real showstopper piece. So I really like that too, and I can't mark it any less than Snap-on. I think I'm gonna give that 4 out of 5 too. Which brings us to features. So our fourth category is features, because believe it or not, there are a couple of special things that I wanted to show you, starting with the JCB and starting with this thing. This is what made me create this category. Look at this. A workbench built in. I've not seen that in a box before. Let me know if you've seen a workbench built into a roll cab, because I hadn't. My classic toolboxes are back here. I typically don't have tool chests because I like to have a nice worktop, so I always just have the roll cabs. But with this system here, having a workbench built in, I just think is amazing. Why don't all boxes have that? It's a really nice checker plate top, nice and solid. It's up to 45 kilos, 100 pounds load on there. So I think as features go, that is an absolute belter, and that alone really had me sold on it as well. The combination of drawer depths is quite nice. You've obviously got all of these drawers here about 55mm deep, but we've got some semi-deep and then super deep drawers down here, which I think is all you need really. They've got a really nice balance, and then obviously they've got the wide drawer. So I think this is kind of the ideal setup for drawers. And as you can see, the Snap-on box is pretty much set up in the same way. Features-wise, one of the things I've always liked about the Snap-on box is the top section is a tray. You'll notice with this one, you've got kind of a tray in the lid, and the bottom of this tray is exactly above the drawer, whereas in the JCB, you've got like a flat surface here, and then you're losing 50mm. That space is just, there's nothing under there. If I put shadow foam on there, see, you're going to have kind of like an exposed side of the foam, which doesn't work as well, doesn't look as clean. So got a knock a point off for that. I think it would have been better to have a little bit of a dip down tray there. Other things to note, they've both got nice solid wheels, 2 fixed, 2 swivel with brakes. They've both got solid metal handles on the side, and they're easy to move around into position. When you're working in a workshop, you can move these around nice and easily. They've got that nice artwork on the lid, which is both, they're like foam back boards. They're like a piece of acrylic with a design on mounted quite solidly into the lid. And then they both have gas struts for the lids. So they're slow close. They come down, they both lock the same. Interestingly, it's a different key for the top lock to the bottom lock. They're not keyed alike, exactly the same as the Snap-on. So scores on the doors. I was going to give it an extra point for the little worktop, but then I've got to knock that off for missing out on the tray in the top. So that puts us at 4 out of 5 for the JCB and 4 out of 5 for the Snap-on. Which brings us to our last category, organisability or SHADOWFOAM-ABILITY. So when it comes to organisability, there's a big plus for the Snap-on and there's a big plus for the JCB. Let me show you the Snap-on first. We've already discussed it. This top section is a tray. So I can have a 30mm piece of foam in here, and it will sit up to the top of that kind of like front lip there, and it's nice and easy to organise, and you can get all your tools kind of laid out in there. But the question is, would you want to? You know, sometimes this is just a dumping ground for some people, and it's kind of however you set up your box. The negative for the Snap-on boxes is the drawers, these shallow drawers, are also pretty much exactly 30mm. Now the shallowest shadow foam we've got is 30mm, and even if we had a 20mm option, you can't really organise a great deal in there. You've got to have very slim tools lying down. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 very shallow drawers, and then the deep drawers are a bit too deep really. I don't think you necessarily need them to be this deep. So although I love a Snap-on box and I think it's got that prestige and I always wanted one, this one isn't that easy to organise. Now you can see we did the top drawer and we've put a 50mm insert in here, and that one was great. We've got all of our wooden tools. Go and check out the Eco Toolkit and Wooden Toolkit video if you want to see that. And the plan is to fill out this whole toolbox, but it's going to be tricky with these slim drawers. So when it comes to organising tools, any toolbox is better than no toolbox. So you can't be too distraught, and obviously a Snap-on one is nice and secure and there's a lot of drawers, but this thing is better. I really like the way they've set up the drawers here. The drawers are 50mm deep, and there's nothing shallower than that. All of these are 50mm, so I can get 30mm foam in there, or even 50mm if I've got some really deep tools. I cut them all the way in, and they're just much easier to organise. I've got 4 drawers 62cm wide, 4 drawers 32cm wide. I can still put foam in the top. It would be much better if there was a lip there. That would have been fantastic. So sadly, it's not as easy to organise, but I can have a sheet of shadow foam maybe with an angle cut onto it to still make it look quite cool. Down here, we've got the same. There's the same depth drawers, 50 mil. There's no super shallow ones, but we've still got the option for some nice deep drawers. And even this drawer here, the top one, this is 12 centimetres deep compared to the Snap-on's 9 centimetres deep. So I just think in terms of general drawers, they're all better and easier to work with. And even the deep drawers are that bit deeper. So if I was to put power tools in there, they're going to fit a lot easier. I don't have to unscrew belt clips or take batteries off things. I can have everything cut in foam, all nice and organised. So for me, the winner is an easy, this box. JCB box. They only have this one combination. You can't switch out the drawers and have different versions, but I think the version they've got is perfect. I wouldn't want to change it personally. I think it lends itself to being shadow foamed, so that for me is a 5 out of 5. On a better day, I might knock off half a point for the top, but I think I can still foam that up because what they have done is left a nice tall lid section. So I've got over 100 mil here of height, so I can still have a piece of foam, maybe cut it on an angle. I think that's not too bad. So I'm gonna give it a straight 5 out of 5, keep things simple. So that is the winner for me. Snap-on, I'm not gonna knock it down too heavily because there are so many other drawer versions. So the reality is, although this box is 4 out of 5 and JCB have won this matchup, Snap-on, I've got loads of different boxes. So let me know in the comments, which box have you got? Maybe it's one of the big KRL, epic 56-inch boxes. Maybe you've got the hutch and the triple stack and you're going all the way to the ceiling. I'd love to see your pictures. Go and follow us on Instagram, shadow_foam over there, and you can share your pictures with me. I love to see them. And any foaming you've done, we'll reshare those pictures. So get involved in that conversation. Now, talk is cheap when it comes to organisability. This has scored 5 out of 5, but I'm not just going to tell you. Let me show you. And for that, we're going to need some tools. Now, not far from me is the Power Site, which is a JCB Tools dealer. We're going to head over there, have a look at what they've got available, pick up a selection of stuff, and then organise a couple of these drawers. So, let's head that way. Now, this is my local JCB Tools dealer, and I can see online they've got a load of JCB stuff, so let's go and have a look. So I think I found the JCB Tools, and first thing that's caught my eye is this set, purely because of the price, to be fair. It's a big old chunky 216-piece socket set for $98.99. That puts me in mind of that Costco set. Go and watch the Costco video here. It was like a big old DeWalt set, but it only had like 5 spanners, and there was a load of Imperial stuff in it, and it was pretty chock full of stuff that was pretty useless. But in here I can see it's 1/4 inch, 3/8 and a 1/2 inch, and a big ruck of spanners. It's 98 quid, so I think when it comes to a JCB rounded out toolkit, that is literally half the toolkit straight out the gate, so I think we'll get one of those. And then right next to it, pretty much everything that's not in that box is in here. Some screwdrivers, not many screwdrivers to be fair. We've got JCB knife, hammer, tape measure, that's pretty good too. So I think one of those, and we've already got a pretty good amount of tools to fill up that top drawer. And then there's loads of other bits over here. So that set only had bull nose. This has got snips and long nose, so that's pretty good. You've got tape in that, what is that? That's 5 meter tape, so I want to get a good selection. I want to get a nice layout going in that top drawer of tools. So I think definitely an adjustable. There's no adjustable in either of these. So a 12-inch adjustable is a good pick, and maybe the tape measures, just in case we need to fill up a bit of space. I think the screwdrivers as well. Like, I love a little bit set like this because it's small, compact, it folds away. Obviously I can't open it and see it, but it looks pretty compact and nifty, that. That set's good, isn't it? So that's like a little starter kit, but everything in that is pretty much in the bigger set I've already picked up. I'll see if we can get one of those. That feels like a nice little giveaway starter kit, JCB Tools. It kind of represents the JCB Tools quite nicely, that, but I don't think we'll need it in the drawer because everything in that is in that one. This is a little bit more in keeping with what you would expect from JCB, which is groundworking tools. And generators too. Got some generators down here. JCB generator, 278 quid. Not really my area of expertise, to be fair, generators, but JCB, more typical of what you'd expect from them, innit? It's a pretty big old thing, isn't it? I wonder if that would shred up me shadow foam waste. Believe it or not, in the very early days of shadow foam, back when it was a polyurethane, I did have a garden shredder, and I was trying to shred up foam into a bag so I could then send it to recycle. It wasn't a winner, I can tell you that. It was not fun. I think this thing would make light work for it, to be fair. Look at the size of the flipping tires on the thing. I think this is made for towing. And then they've got a full power tool range too, so they've got the 18-volt line, combi drills, and multi-tools, lights, jigsaws. Pretty cool. They've got a trim router. 100 quid for that little trim. That is pretty mad, that. You don't see little trim routers in many power tool lineups. They are obviously getting a bit more popular. That's pretty beefy. I've got a key to one of those. I don't need another one. This is pretty good down here though. You've got like their 12-volt line. And I do love a little like compact drill and driver set. I could put them in the drawer. That's nice. Like that. Always handy to have a little drill driver set. Right, so this is the pile of JCB tools we'll be getting. And Charlie, if I get all of this, can you hook us up with any... I
suppose you boys, you know, you YouTube boys are coming in making everything look fancy. I suppose we can go with something. So, caps, pens, all sorts of stuff, key rings, pens, and I'd seen you around it before as well, those little tool kits.
Yeah.
I can sort you out with 5 of those, 5 different kits.
Yeah.
all as giveaways as well.
Amazing. One you prepared earlier. So like this is like a basic starter kit basically. It's got some of the essentials you need and a 1/4-inch driver, all JCB stuff. If you want one of these, Charlie from the Power site is kind enough to hook us up with 5 sets of these, plus some other JCB merch too. You know what to do by now. If you want to win one of these, drop a comment down below this video, get involved talking about JCB tools, make sure you're subscribed, and that's it. You'll be entered to win a pretty cool JCB swag pile. So let's get all this back to the workshop. Thanks very much, Charlie.
Anytime, no worries.
Let's get back.
I'll be back.
Right, so back to the workshop, and I've got a load of stuff from JCB, including the giveaway. Very pleased that I asked about that, because we've not only got 5 of those kits, we've also got some great merch as well. And there we go. So we've got the 216-piece kit, the Combi 12-volt kit, the 36-piece tool set. That's the giveaway. And it doesn't stop with that, because we've got bags firstly, hats, catalogues, gotta get a catalogue, it's like an Argos catalogue, JCB pens, 5 of those, and JCB key rings. So they really hooked us up, and more tools in here too. So I've got a set of those for me, screwdriver set, 12-inch adjustable, the plier set, the extra tape measure set, and a bit set too. Bit set can go with the drills. So that's a lot of tools. I think I'm gonna get them all unpacked so we can have a proper look at them. Now, before I headed off to get the tools, I actually measured up a couple of these drawers, pushed the dimensions through our website, SHADOWFOAM.com, and ordered some custom size sheets to organize these drawers. Now, I've gone for the top big drawer, and then 2 of the wider drawers, and 2 of the narrow drawers. The inserts were here when I got back, and I've gone for a 70mm yellow in the big drawer, and then teal and yellow in 30mm for the 2. And I think having that yellow, teal, yellow kind of follows the aesthetic of the JCB box. So while I'm opening up the tools, I've kind of put a rough layout together. I don't know if we've got enough tools to fill all 3 drawers, or we might even have too many tools to be fair, but 3 drawers is a good start. So let's start unpacking this stuff. Starting with the 36-piece kit. This was $49.98, and I thought it would give us a pretty good baseline for a tool kit. I don't know what drawer it's gonna go in. Like I say, as I go through, we'll fill up the drawers. I've got the 70mm top drawer, and I don't quite know really what's gonna go in the drawers yet. I'll kind of work it out as we go. So get the packaging out of the way. Quite a nice solid tool case that is, to be fair. And in here we've got 16-ounce JCB claw hammer. Always good to have one of those. That's a pretty nice torpedo level. That's pretty cool. We've got a knife. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff that's in this I can see already is in that, so it's doubling up. I got a 6th one of those just in case. So I doubt we'll need any of that stuff, but we can open it up and have a look, because obviously we've got 5 to give away. Got a 5-meter tape measure, some bullnose pliers. It's pretty good. It's not blowing me away. It's all held in there nice and tight, which is good. The knife's pretty cool. A JCB sliding utility knife. Always happy to have another one of those. Then we've got a 3-piece screwdriver set, some like watchmaker screwdrivers, and they've got the JCB logo molded into them, so they're not just generic, they are properly JCB'd up. We've got a 1/4-inch bit driver, folding Allen key set, and we've got some blades for the knife. That's good, because I noticed there was no blade in the knife. So that's pretty good. $49.98, not too sure on the value of that. They're getting their JCB, they're clearly working on their tools, and they've started with that. This is a far cry, this is another level of quality that they've gone for with the toolbox. I think the tools are catching up. So you can see the tape measure is just a sticker on like a generic yellow tape, which isn't that good, but the hammer has got a nice molded JCB handle, and it's got some laser engraving, and it feels like quite a nice solid one. So there's a bit of a mixed bag really, but some nice stuff. Stick that out of the way. Next up, let's have a look at their bigger screwdriver set, which is pretty essential considering there's only 3 screwdrivers in that set. This says it's a 35-piece. Definitely can't see 35 pieces in there, but let's open it up and have a look. That's quite novel, isn't it? Pretty interesting plastic holder for them all. Still not seeing 35. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 watchmaker screwdrivers. They're all quite nice, nicely molded with the rotating head on them. And then we've got a normal set of screwdrivers under here. So you slide that over and then it opens. Oh, I see, here we go. Right, okay, so I see how they're making the bit count up. They've got 2 little bit rails here to go with the bit driver. Oh, and they're molded in too. That's a bit of a shame. You can't get the bits out. They're kind of in this molding. But I doubt there's anyone going to be keeping that bit of packaging. Maybe you are. Not really for me, that one. And then there's one random bit in the top. That's funny, isn't it? Just one bit there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8, 16, 16 and 18, 34. They must be counting the case. I don't really tend to keep plastic packaging like that. I would keep them on a bit rail like this though. They're always handy when they're in a little bit rail like that. But the screwdriver's quite nice. You've got a couple of them that have got this hex on them, which means you can get a spanner on there and get more torque. So that's pretty nice. And with that, plus the additional screwdrivers here, which are the same handle, that gives us quite a complete set of screwdrivers, which is nice. Plus a couple of extra watchmaker screwdrivers. Never a bad thing to have more screwdrivers than you need. Are the bit drivers the same? Yeah, it's got 2 of them and all. Interesting. Right, so that's the screwdrivers. Next thing, tape measures. Now, the funny thing about this tape measure is, I just mentioned that this is a sticker and not really a winner in my book, but then they've clearly improved on the tape measure because this is a better tape with like a rubber housing, which is far more sturdy, and it's got that JCB logo molded on there, which is a lot better. $17.99 for a twin set of tapes isn't the cheapest, but these are better. They feel much more rugged than this thing. This is like quite a cheap plastic body, whereas this has got like a rubber molding around it. It's a much wider tape. It's going to have a much longer standout. Is it written on the back? Yeah, and that one's on the back too. Quite happy with those. They're good. What else have we got? 12-inch adjustable. Let's open that. Now, there was no adjustables in any of the other kits. That's why I thought it was worth getting this one. And that's quite smart. I mean, it's just, as you'd expect, a 12-inch steel adjustable. It's not like a cast one. It's a forged one. Feels nice and solid. It's got the JCB logo on it. Again, it's not blowing me away, but it's in the kit. Right, next up, pliers and snips. Now, again, there was no snips in any of these kits. Oh, no, there is snips in that one, actually. That's bullnose pliers and snips, that one. Where I don't need that because there is snips in this. Some nice wide snips. Another pair of bullnose pliers. There you go, that's handy. So we've got 2 sizes there. They are a bigger size, so they can go in the kit. It's not a bad thing to have a small and a big set of pliers and a long nose pliers set too. Again, these are nice. They've got the JCB logo molded on the handle. It's just a rounded out toolkit really. They've tried to put some quality stuff together. Right, so before I open the other ones, I think I'm going to introduce my teal liner. Now this is my top drawer, which is 70mm, but for my 30mm, which is going to be the drawers below, I think we're going to put all of the screwdrivers in there. And then we can have a nice kind of finger pull across the middle. And I've got a load of screwdrivers now. They're all yellow too, so they can kind of have that contrast with the teal. I think they'll all look smart. So all of the screwdrivers can go in there, which is pretty smart. And maybe the pliers in here. Again, they're nice bright yellow, so the contrast is going to look smart. Something like that maybe. Tape measures across the top, or maybe the tape measures will go in there. I'll figure this all out later, to be fair. But something along those lines. I think this top layer is going to lend itself to all of the sockets and spanners and chrome in this box, which I think out of everything, this is by far the best value. Less than 100 quid for a 216-piece kit with a 3-year warranty. Let's have a look at it. Right, so it's pretty chock full, this box, and we've got spanners from 8mm up to 22mm, which is a big improvement on that DeWalt kit that I mentioned from Costco, and they've got JCB molded on them. So that's pretty cool. I was hoping that they would be not some generic loose spanners, but they're actually chrome vanadium, a nice feel to them, and they've got JCB logo on them, which is kind of what you're looking for. And you get the JCB tool kit, you don't want to think that you've just got a sticker on the outside and that's it, but they do feel quite nice. And they're every increment too. That's 22, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 13, all the way down to 8mm. So that's a pretty comprehensive kit. So I like those. The ratchet drivers, they feel quite nice too. And they've got like a triple colour handle, which is something that will have cost them extra to make, but they feel nice. They've got like an engraving on the steel and that on the handle. And you get a 3/8, a half and a quarter. They feel quite a fine adjustment. They're quite smart. The other thing of note is the full kit is all metric. I can't see any imperial here. And every socket that I've pulled out is engraved JCB, which is nice. Again, with these sets that are like really good value, you can quite often find that they're all just the exact same. There's no logos and anything other than the outside box, but that's pretty cool. There's another little change, isn't there? We've got 3 of those now. So we've got 3 1/4-inch bit drivers. This one is the exact same style handle, but you can see that 3 colour logo. So when they've molded that handle, that's just a much more complicated mold in order to get that extra bit of colour in there. Interesting. 3 of those. And then they've kind of skipped that handle on this. This is a 1/4-inch bit driver. And although it's got JCB on it, that could have done with a nice matching handle, couldn't it? Seems funny they've done that. But then again, this has got a 1/4-inch slot in the end to kind of get a bit of extra torque on a socket. So that's pretty cool though. It's quite a complete set this. So you've got all of the short sockets all the way up to 32mm, and then you've got a load of different long ones, but you've got quite a wide selection of 1/4-inch bits, like torque, security torques, these like 12-point stars as well, which I don't really work with or see very often. And then also, unusually, they've got a full set of 3/8 bits, and then a 3/8 adapter. I don't see these very often at all. And then you've got an adapter to put it onto a square 3/8, or onto a 1/2 inch, which is a bit unusual. You don't see that very often. You've got all the 1/4 inch, all the typical 1/4 inch bits on yellow holders. Much better than that screwdriver set. I never quite like it when they chuck in this dodgy little set of Allen keys. I'm sure the Costco set had that, a way of making up the piece count. Mind you though, I say that, these are actually laser engraved JCB, to be fair. Clearly not so much of an afterthought, the fact that they've got JCB engraved on them. So someone's had to go to some effort. And there we go, so that is the full set. I think I'm going to transfer all of that into a nice layout on my top drawer, so when you open it up, it's all chrome and sockets. I won't get it all out. Finally, we're on to the 12-volt drill set, and I felt like they had a whole selection of 18-volt tools there. I've got a lot of 18-volt tools. I've got literally a full range of Makita stuff, DeWalt, Milwaukee. Not so much in the 12-volt smaller stuff though. So I thought this was a better addition to our kind of workshop tools. And we've got their combi drill, charger, and an impactor in what is essentially an L box. And if you didn't know, we actually have an insert for this box on the website. So you can go and click the link below if you've got some Bosch L boxes. Well, these are made by Sortimo and then they license them out. This is a Sortimo W box made in Germany and then licensed by JCB. So we actually do inserts for that one. So go and get yourself an insert if you want one. I'm going to stick that back there. And the drills, I looked at these in the shop. They've got a nice form factor, a nice weight to them. Very similar batteries to all of these systems. To be fair, slim line, 2 amp hour. Quite smart though, and they are going to probably go in my top drawer as well. I think having them in a nice bright drawer like that, and also they're the deepest item. So there we go, that is all the tools, except for the giveaway kit, which is one of the best little kits to be fair. It comes in this lovely little canvas pouch. And it's a great little kit, I reckon, just have tucked down in your van door or in the back of your car, in your boot maybe. It's a pretty nice kind of general tool set, this. And inside we've got 5-meter tape measure. That's the same one that came in that other kit. You've got one of those bit driver handles with 20 screwdriver bits and the bit driver, and then some snips, pliers, and the knife and some extra blades too. So pretty cool little kit that. So thanks to JCB and PowerSight for hooking us up with the tool kits. They are spot on. So we've got 5 of those, plus 5 of the caps, which are also pretty cool. So they've got the JCB logo on, and believe it or not, this surprised me, these caps are made out of recycled bottles. That's a Brucey bonus, isn't it? So 5 of the caps, 5 of those, and 5 pens and 5 key rings too. So if you want one of those, you know what to do. Drop a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Have you ever used any JCB tools? Let me know. I love talking tools. I read all the comments, and I do reply to as many as I can. So make sure you get involved in the conversation, and then you'll be entered in to win one of these toolkits. So that's all the tools. I'll put that one back in there. I'll bring in my other piece of foam, and let me get all of these in some sort of layout before I show you how to cut some shadow foam. So I've got a bit of a layout going. Sometimes it's tricky to do 3 drawers in one go because there's a few moving parts, I've got loads of sockets, and I want to make sure it's nicely categorized. But I finished one drawer. I'm quite happy with this. So I've got all the pliers and the cutters, snips, the knife, the Allen keys, everything fits nicely in that slim drawer. And then over here, I've got all the screwdrivers, the hammer, the level, and it'll all fit in there lovely. So I thought I'll do this layer, and then if there's any other gaps, I can bring in a few other tools, and then that'll give me a clearer picture from the other 2. So let's get into it. Now, when it comes to cutting shadow foam, all you need is one of our cutting kits. These come free with most orders at SHADOWFOAM.com. So if you're looking for some shadow foam, go and grab a starter kit. Our starter kit bundle is the perfect place to start and get organized. And if you're organizing a big toolbox like this, a starter kit can do 5 drawers. You get 5 30mm sheets, or you can get 3 50mm sheets if you're doing some deeper stuff, and a cutting kit, and a free 2-meter folding ruler. So go and check that out, grab yourself a starter kit. Now when it comes to cutting shadow foam, all you need to do is get your anti-cut glove on, get a scalpel with a sharp blade. You get 5 blades in the basic cutting kit. You place the item where you want it to go. So let's start with a tricky item, and we'll go with a claw hammer. Then you basically just use the scalpel like a pencil, and you just trace cut around the item, just capturing the silhouette on the foam. So we're not worried about how deep we're cutting it at this point. We're literally just capturing the silhouette on the foam, tracing all the way around, making sure that the hammer doesn't move, and making sure you get those corners. Now once you've gone all the way around and you've met back up the start, I'm just coming around here now. So once you get back to the start, you can then move the item out of the way. And if you press down on the foam, you can see the cut you've made, and then you go back and then you cut down deeper. Now we're in a 30mm sheet of foam here. I want to go down about 20mm, and that'll mean that the hammer sits nice and snug in the foam, but it's not cutting all the way through. We don't want to cut all the way through the foam because you lose a lot of the structural integrity. It becomes all a bit flimsy. So 20mm is enough that it's going to house that hammer quite nicely, nice and snug, and it's going to be held in there tightly, and we're going to know if it's missing because it's going to be a nice, clear, obvious hammer shape, but it's not going to go all the way through. So I've gone all the way there, 20mm all the way around. Now all we do is push a finger down one of the ends, so it could be the head of the hammer or the claw of the hammer or down by the handle. Just start at one of the corners, and then you'll basically just hooking your finger around a seam and then pulling the foam up, lifting that foam up towards yourself, and you can see it kind of parts. You're just kind of like ploughing the material out, you're following along behind it. So we've got a nice, I've peeled out about 12 mil there, something like that. So I'm going to go back, pull out a little bit more material. I'm going to start this end this time and go back the other way. And there we go, that's the first item done, fits in there perfectly. I'll come back and put some finger pulls on that at the end, but I'm gonna use that exact same technique for all of the screwdrivers, all of the big stuff, sockets, everything. So let's get into it. I'll cut them all and then I'll do some finger pulls, and then after I've done these two, I'll bang straight into the other ones and get them all cut, and I'll come back to you when it's all done. There we go, that is all the cutting done, and I used one less liner. I've still got one piece of foam left that I didn't need. Look at that, fitted all the tools and saved a drawer. So people who say there's no space for foam in my toolbox, look at that. That is a full JCB tool roster. The only thing I didn't really cut in was a few of the 1/4" sockets. So for the sockets, I had a couple of these rails. Now these came from Walmart, which is a video coming up very soon. So you've got to make sure you subscribe to the channel. You're not going to want to miss it. I've done a few US tool hunts, and Walmart was one of the most intriguing because they had some weird food there too, to be honest, weird snacks, but also 2 or 3 full aisles of tools, Hart tools and Hyper Tough tools. So it was a bit bonkers. I got some tool rails there. I put a couple of sockets on. Now that might be a divisive decision. Let me know in the comments, would you have done that? Some people won't like the fact that I've cut some on the rails and I've cut these individually, but I actually like sockets on rails because then you can take the whole 1/4" set out and you can take them with you. So I kind of like it, but I've got a mixture. Let me know in the comments, and if you do let me know in the comments, you'll also be entered into the giveaway, which is 5 of these beasties. So a big thank you to PowerSight for hooking us up with the tools for this video. So make sure you drop a comment. I do read all the comments and I reply to as many as I can. So get involved in the conversation and you'll be entered. Also thanks to JCB for sending us the BCL toolbox. There's only 500 of these and most of them are sold. There's not many left, and they've actually got a 5% discount going on, but you've got to use the link in the description. So if you're looking at this beauty in the video thinking you wanted one, don't miss out. Go and grab yourself one. Use the link below this video to get your discount. Thanks to JCB for sending us ours. I've got other plans for this toolbox, and a big thank you to Connect Team for sponsoring this video. If you're looking to streamline your small business without breaking the bank, I would highly recommend clicking the link below in the description to get a 14-day trial for small businesses with more than 10 employees. And all I've got to do now is chuck these inserts in the drawers and get some beauty shots.